On TikTok, people stream their day-to-day lives, often unfiltered, to anonymous masses. You never know who could be watching, or, more importantly, how close they could actually be. There's always been some level of danger to sharing the intimate details of your life online. Unfortunately for the people in today's clip, that danger hit a little too close to home. Make sure you watch to the end, but maybe keep an eye out for any of these red flags. Creepy stalker records strangers. Starting things off strong, you never know when people are watching. This person recorded a terrifying moment when she noticed someone, completely unrelated, recording two other women. Without this clip, we might not have ever seen this happening. Which brings us to the next question. How many people do you think don't get caught doing the very creepy thing? How many times have you been recorded without ever knowing?
What the f***? That's not good. Very weird.
Stalked in broad daylight. Imagine you've had a strange, crawling feeling like you're being watched. Then suddenly you look over your shoulder and someone's following you. This was thankfully in the middle of the day, and the woman filming realizes that there's a man following her.
I'm on a walk, and this guy keeps following me.
A block or two could have been a coincidence. Unfortunately, this person seems to go on and on.
Guys, I'm crossing the street, and I swear to God, if he follows me, then he's literally fucking following me.
She begins running at one point to see if he'll continue, and rest assured he does.
And he's still following me.
Eventually, she turns, claiming she'd know for sure if he followed that time.
Guys, I literally can't even make this up right now. What the fuck?
Fortunately, he stops, probably mainly due to her filming. It's not clear if he can see the camera, but it's still lucky that she turned on the camera when she did, because who knows what would have happened if she hadn't started gathering and collecting evidence. It might be better if she contacted the police, but this is a close, maybe second or third. Followed through target. Unfortunately, it's not just out in the streets. Sometimes you might be going about your regular daily business and notice that someone is paying just a little too much attention to you. That was this woman's unsettling experience at what looked to be a Target, as a strange man began following her around, looking at the same products she picked up and continuing along his way to keep an eye on her. She's clearly unsettled by his behavior and begins recording, but that doesn't improve things. The man isn't very subtle and continues to follow her into aisle after aisle. This goes on for quite some time before the camera cuts out. Maybe one or two aisles would be a coincidence, but after a time, anyone would be scared. Stalker waiting inside home. Your home is where you're supposed to feel safest. This woman, however, learned that this is not always the case. As she comes home from a workout, clearly exhausted, she quietly goes to set her things down. The Ring camera catches these incredibly important moments, showing when she walks in, turns on her light, and immediately comes face to face with what we have to assume is her stalker. We don't catch a view of the culprit, only the woman's quick and hesitationless escape, as she runs right back out through the path she took coming in. Her quick exit speaks volumes to the perceived danger she must have felt, but thankfully she gets away. It's hard to know what would have happened if she hadn't, or why the stalker was there in the first place. I guess we'll never know, and that's a good thing. Stalking in the bushes. As with many videos you see on the internet, it's good to get into things with a fair amount of skepticism. Is this clip real? Chances are, maybe not, but it could be. We aren't given enough information to call that from the hook alone. This person ordered DoorDash and their food was delivered along with an unwelcomed guest. The driver supposedly began standing in the bushes waiting for them to retrieve their food. If this is real, it's easy to imagine how terrifying it might be. Do you forgo your food or risk getting caught by an unhinged stranger? Like we said, this clip could be fake, but really, who knows? Confronting a strange stalker. There's that saying, if you see something, say something. This man saw something that made him uncomfortable as a stranger was crouched, taking covert photos through a restricted fence. We aren't sure what he's looking at. The person filming doesn't look themselves, but it's uncomfortable enough to watch someone do something they clearly shouldn't be doing. Instead of walking by, which unquestionably countless other people did and would continue doing, the man filming decides to ask if the other man is a stalker.
What is this guy doing? Are you stalker? You stalker? No stalker. Ah, okay.
It's direct, confrontational, and met with immediate rebuffing before the other man resumes his would-be stalking.
What is he doing?
We can't know for sure that's what he's doing, but chances are that area was mostly blocked off for a reason. Stalked across the grounds. If you feel you're being watched or followed, sometimes it's good to just turn your camera on and watch. This woman caught her would-be stalker in the act as he followed her around the quad of what looks like her campus.
Y'all, I don't know what to do. I am being followed by this guy right here in the white pants and gray shirt.
No matter where she goes, all she has to do is look around and he'll be there. He's always keeping her within his eye line.
He's right there. I'm gonna walk across the park and sit on that little bench right there, okay?
She circles the grounds, and he slowly walks over to her before walking around as if to seem inconspicuous.
He conveniently is walking across the grass field now. All the places he could go. Happens to be following me.
However, she keeps an eye on him in turn. The full video clip is about 2 minutes long, which is a long TikTok to video. But it's a good idea and probably fortunate she began filming when she did. Without proof, how would you protect yourself? Back pocket exposed. There's a trend on TikTok of people taking a video of things from their back pocket. It exposes quite a lot of people doing creepy things, but can also give people a fresh perspective on how they might be perceived. That being said, what this woman caught was pretty much spot on with what she expected to not happen. She explained she didn't believe the trend or that people would just photograph strangers like that. However, she learned she couldn't be further from the truth.
So I had seen some people do it, and like some people were like looked at them and some people took pictures, and I was like, there's no way people will take pictures of other people. Like, that's f***ing weird.
You're supposed to place the camera somewhere it can film inconspicuously, so she puts hers in the pocket of her hydro flask, and when she gets there, a man she walks by begins to take notice.
So I did it today, and I'm at the beach, obviously, so I don't have pants, I have my bikini bottoms on, so I just put my phone in my hydro jug, like in the pocket right here, like facing out, and I put it to where the phone was like facing behind me.
She explains she knew he was following her, but when she watches the footage back, there's so much more to it.
I could tell he started following me because his voice like stayed close, and this guy took a picture of me. What weirdo, I'm about to show you.
He changes his direction and walks behind her, stopping regularly to take a picture of her.
And then I'm walking away, and he's still looking at me. And then he starts to follow me, and you can tell in the video on his phone that he's like swapping, like it like looks like he's going to his camera app.
She explains she isn't sure why he was doing it, possibly to make fun of her, but likely for creepier, more unhinged reasons altogether.
I don't know what the hell he's so happy about here, like he's smiling, it's kind of weird.
She ends the video with the somber, terrifying thought. How many people's phones are you on? How many do you not know of? Stalker watching in the dark. Getting clear direct camera footage of a creepy instance is enough to give anyone the chills, but this one in particular is a specific horror. Have you ever looked into the dead of night and felt some sneaking suspicion you were being watched back? This woman was dealing with the other end of that paranoia. You know, when it isn't actually paranoia. Fortunately for her, she decided to purchase a camera and station it by her door. The cat, clearly intrigued by the guest, doesn't shy away, lending credence to the place being watched. Fortunately, she's able to call the police. Unfortunately, however, the man she accused of stalking her didn't get the memo to stop. This means that he was back at it as soon as he could. Of course, like a few others on today's list, this clip might be fake. It would be incredibly easy to set up and stage, and even easier to make a fake story around it. Of course, I choose to believe it was staged. because it's easier to think this is some made-up scenario and not a terrifying, somewhat traumatizing ordeal. Before the last clip, since you watched until this point, why don't you consider subscribing to the channel? We upload 2 new creepy, disturbing, and downright scary videos every week, so make sure to stay up to date with our latest releases by getting these post notifications. If you enjoyed this one, we have plenty more for you on the channel, so you don't want to miss a single one. Creepy woman stalks neighbor. This last clip is a multi-part one, but the first one gives excellent context. He explains that a woman within his building comes out whenever he comes home and begins filming him.
Super weird. Every time I come home from work, she comes running outside and starts recording me. I don't know why. I literally did nothing. I put it on God, my mom, everything. I promise.
This happens every day without fail. The following videos show some of her other behavior and how reactive to him she really is. In the next clip, she begins looking at him through her blinds, showing that she's very aware of his arrival.
I literally just got home. You ready? She's gonna open the blinds. In 5. Oh, there she goes, right there. Told you. Told you, bro. She's crazy.
This wouldn't be an issue in and of itself, but as a pattern of behavior, it feels like she wants to keep tabs on him. This continues into the next clip where the woman seemingly knows his schedule. He's coming home from a trip to Ohio only to find her waiting for him in the parking lot.
Hold in. Look who's waiting on me right here. I literally just got home.
The most disconcerting thing about all of this is the fact that none of it is really illegal. And even if they caught her in 4K doing something creepy, there's no real path forward except speaking to her. Hopefully he did, but unfortunately, these clips don't give resolution. That means the end is left up to our imagination, which is an equally terrifying thought.